How overpriced are Vancouver homes really becoming? Well, behind us is a home selling for almost $2 million by this guy, and it looks like a tear-down home. In this video, we're gonna find out if homes in Vancouver are accurately priced, or is everything just a facade to hide whatever is going on underneath. How can this tear-down looking house cost almost $2 million?
Well, number one, it's actually really nice inside.
Okay.
Number two, if you can hear the ambient noise, that is the train track right there. And the station terminus to redevelop it into one of the duplexes that we love to tour.
So it has to be redeveloped for it to be worth its value.
100%.
Okay.
That's something I want to make clear.
What if this was not redeveloped? How much should it be?
1.3.
Okay, that's more reasonable. How livable is a 60-plus-year-old home?
Well, we're gonna find out.
First of all, look at this.
What?
What is this designed for?
So this was added later on, like a patio kind of setup.
And is that very common in old homes? Like you
Super
just
common.
add things in?
East Vancouver, the Vancouver Special, if,
It's
as
a
you can see.
Frankenstein?
Yeah, all of them. So there's a certain city plan that when they built the home and they all kind of measure to that. But then as the years go by, people add things, people remove things, people close sunrooms. But let's take a look on in.
This is the living room? Yeah, it's okay. Dark. Not enough sunlight though.
Yeah.
Right, so how livable is all this? I mean, it's actually in pretty good condition.
Oh, yeah.
Probably some Is there renovation? Is this original?
There's some updates, yeah. This floor in here is not original. The tiling is original.
But the thing about older homes, there's always a little bit of a smell.
Yes, there is. I think for this one, a lot of it has to do with the wood downstairs.
Okay, so what else is here? This is actually a great kitchen layout.
In terms of square footage, yeah, if we were to have like a one-bedroom apartment, and it were to have this layout where it's like a dedicated dining room space, like L kitchen, and then obviously prep area, stove, extra area, like dedicated sink, and then above the stove, you know, if you wanted to put your racks when you're finished baking.
Let's look at the other places.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
I mean, this is okay. It's kind of small. Modern ones would be bigger.
Yeah, so as we can see, they do share this washroom.
Okay, this is...
It was definitely the most expensive thing to add. So a lot of these older homes, you would see them, they're like 5-6 bed, but there are usually only like 2 baths.
And what's over here? Another bedroom?
Yep.
These are pretty small. Usually older homes are bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, this one was built in a time where, you know, people didn't want excess.
But what the heck? Why is there a step up? It's Frankenstein, man.
Maybe this was an addition. So let's head downstairs, and you know what? I think the great thing is the downstairs area, and they have leak detectors. Everything's modern.
Okay, let's check over here.
Sort of.
I mean, this place is cool because of this wood, which is probably updated. Oh, there's more space over here. I don't know. How livable is this?
I mean, to your standards, maybe, you know, Italian-owned home, a cellar. You would know how important a cellar is to old school Italians.
How livable is this home?
What would you say?
I think if you lived here a long time, you're used to it, it's fine.
Maybe.
But as someone moving in for the first time, like, I don't know how I would get used to ducking my head on every stairwell.
Yeah, so the family that was residing here is quite short. So it didn't bother them.
Okay.
Anyway, jokes aside, it is definitely in a condition that's livable, but would the style of home, the way that things are laid out, obviously the height of ceilings, is it as livable as what you can get for the same amount of money? Definitely not.
Well, usually for older homes, it's like this because people live here a long time, right? They don't want to change many things. But if someone new ever comes in, there need to be some changes.
A lot of changes. I mean, if somebody were to buy this, let's say even at that price point like we talked before, where there wasn't land value potential or zoning potential, and they bought it for 1.2, 1.3, they would still do like a full reno.
Why would someone buy this over a brand new condo? Wait. You said this place, well, right now it's supposed to be redeveloped, so it's like 1.8.
Yes.
If it was just the house, it'd be 1.3. But 1,300 square foot as a brand new condo, I could get for like 1.6. Why would anyone buy this?
That's the biggest question. Like, and I would say for people who want zero neighbors, like don't even want to share a wall, don't even want to share a duplex, then obviously having a detached home, if that's the most important.
But you do have neighbors here.
No, I know, but I mean, you're not sharing the lot with them.
How much money do I need to put into a 1960s East Van house to make it livable? To my standards.
I would say for something to be truly new, you know, you'd have to do a gut renovation.
Okay.
And right now, I would say renovations are anywhere from $350 to $400 a square foot.
So how overpriced are Vancouver homes really getting? I think I know the answer. It's not that Vancouver homes are getting overpriced. There's actually a lot of good options coming out. Duplexes, multiplexes.
Yeah.
That's what's bringing all of the costs down.
Yeah.
But what's bringing the cost up is still development opportunity because everyone wants to develop into duplex and multiplex.
Exactly. So in order to get to that next level of all those beautiful duplexes, multiplexes that we've been seeing, you need to buy these single family lots. And obviously they want to say, hey, if you're gonna capitalize on it, I want the most I can get out of it.
So I think it's actually all illusion for most residents. If they drive by and look at this, oh, this teardown is $2 million. It's an illusion for them because they don't know that this is not for them to buy. This is for a developer to come in and build something they can buy. In summary, I think Vancouver housing is heading in a more affordable direction. There you go, guys. Just don't get disillusioned by these overpriced developer buys.